Good evening. Should I say, good morning, everyone. This is MM, and I wanted to do a special video about the Matrix and what I've learned growing up about it. Growing up in society, society favors started to understand that the majority, you know, favored they favor basically dreams over reality. They value fiction over truth. And at the same time they're doing this, they don't even accept their true self. Instead, they cast off and reject the true selves and replace that with a false self or a false persona. A lot of these individuals who are stuck in this reality are hiding behind masks. And a lot of other people unsuspectingly pick up this trait unknowingly and don't realize what's really going on until they start to question their own reality. Now, oh yeah, I showed the top there so you can see exactly where the image comes from. I claim no copyright to this at all. It's just only used for just as a demonstration, nothing more, for educational purposes. Now, I do give people a choice whether they want to know the truth about the situation or not. But I still do get the truth out as far as a current fellow whistleblower, current fellow TI targeted individual out there as well. Um, and most of these things that I've started to understand is that these same behaviorisms tends to want to like show off a lot and basically have its mindset, like I mean, I don't mean just like driven towards materialistic things. I'm talking about like it goes beyond that, like way beyond that. And it's so bad that they don't even go out to buy materialistic things just because they want materialistic things. They go out to buy materialistic things because they want that acceptance from people around them. That's the whole point of why they do it. And along with this, they continue to do that to gain that acceptance. And this can go very deep, depending on the situations. And here's the thing: nowadays, as things are increasingly expensive as far as the cost of living, you got to have both the wife and the father to work. Chances are, they won't even really have that much time to spend with the kid, especially when they get older. It's not that they don't. It's just that it's like the families are not as together as they used to be. But in dark times like this, it's stuff like these dark times that are, supposed to bring family together. It's supposed to. But it makes you wonder why the government really wanted to have an infiltration in the families in the first place. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because they wanted to shatter families. The Black African American family, or should I say just the black families and stuff like that, they had trouble trying to shatter that until they, introduced money into that, brainwashing, etc. And as you know, the whole thuggish persona got created as a end result of that. And here's the deal, man. Like we're like the thing about this, like a lot of us, I don't give a damn what your skin color is, okay? All of us, every one of us, does not come from a background of discrimination. No, that is coming from that whole identity, sense of identity crisis, that whole sense of ignorant like judgment. That's coming from an opposite origin from our original origin, and we're more together towards the point of more of of an understanding, more of both love and prosperity, and you know, love to both thy brother and thy sister, love to thy family, not not stab backs of just random people who you know, or even to brother or sister. And if you look in the Bible, like these gang stalkers, the perps that they send out after you, as well as they send out that to me, you'll see that a lot of the behavior that they contribute is actually depicted in the Bible under the term workers of iniquity. These are the ones they hire to keep people blind. These are the ones they hire to keep people to feed off of the system, to literally feed off the lies, the deceitfulness. But you need to understand, whatever peril is going to end up coming as an end result from falling for that is going to be your own undoing. So you can either choose to just be converted into whatever it is they want you to be converted into, and just accept whatever fate they want for you, which could be death turned out to be something that you're not, or homeless, or anything, man. It could be anything. And unfortunately, a lot of us, like, we're not acceptive of this BS that they try to pull. But there are like unfortunate circumstances that just overwhelm us and pushes us to this. I've been homeless before a long time ago, and I was in a position where I couldn't even do anything about it. I was too young to work, and it was just me and my mom, so I know how that is. I've been there before, more than once. Um, Now, if you're one, now I've long since took the red pill years ago, and it was mostly because I saw the corruption when it came into both the court system and relationships. But now I've started to see like it's a lot more darker than I thought. That and the darkness is that they were intentionally paying these young females off to shatter relationships, dude. Not even just young females, but middle-aged females, older females, all kinds of shit. They paid them off to intentionally do this. They've been paying them off to intentionally put people on child support. Not just child support, but you ever wonder like how come like the amounts of child support like unreasonably high? Yeah. And here's the thing, ladies, this is actually bad for you too, because first off, with them actually, damaging a guy's life like that, it makes him hard. It makes it very, very, not just very hard, but very difficult to go out there and find a decent woman. And it's not to say that there aren't any decent women out there, but you need to understand, and I've said this before, these kind of women that pull this kind of stuff, because let me tell you this. They are getting all of that money and they're not even using that on their kids, okay? I have seen this too many times to where a woman is getting all that money from one dude and then she's taking that money and spending this money on a lot of materialistic items, not for herself, not even just for herself, not even for her kids, but on some other dude too. I have witnessed this more than once. And it actually truly shows where that person, holds their value at when it comes to things. And it's like they hold their own kids as trophies. I know, as grim as that may sound, but that's just the harsh reality of this. And the reality is not going to be pretty. Reality is going to be harsh. Reality is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. The false reality, the fake reality, the magical land, the pixies and crap like that. That's gonna mislead you from the truth, from things that could actually protect you. That's gonna mislead you from the truth that's actually gonna allow yourself to keep being poisoned, in this case, from the food that you've been eating all this time, like the high fructose corn syrup, the canola oil, the freaking what's that, the red coloring in food and drinks, to where they getting from these beetles and stuff like that, which is our highly toxified ingredients. They may be dyes, but they're highly toxic, and they are commonly they were one of the most common causes of candida and Lyme disease. You can even watch that in the video that I recently made about a lot of the stuff that they put in the the food. I don't claim copyright for that video. I'm only doing, what's best for me to get the word out for everybody to be able to protect themselves from this, because this has been going on for years and it still has not been stopped. And honestly, I think people just and the whole problem with this is that people have just been caving into fear for far too long. That's what it's been. And it's that fear because they fear that they're just alone in this. They fear that it's just too powerful to go against it. They fear this because, well, this fear is just being threatened against them. You need to really think back when your targeting first started, right? Think back, and then put yourself in the and just like think just how it was. Like you didn't understand what the heck was going on. Then you started to realize the police were involved, and you started to realize like, well, people were just deflecting the issues. They weren't doing their jobs. And you see, here's the thing. I come from a more logical perspective when it deals with problems. I want to look for every single detail to basically point out every single optional scenario with said problem. You see, the gang stalkers don't, and the gang stalkers and the deflectors don't like this at all. They don't like this because it takes away their tactics of deflection to discrediting too. Because you're not only looking at all possible. For instance, like if something was to come missing, right? But if I get something new, or if if I do anything, if I notice something, one thing comes up missing, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna film the entire area to show, and I'm gonna dig around everywhere to make certain that everything that's around there is where it's gonna stay. And wherever the thing that came up missing, that which is not present, I will like look everywhere. I will look everywhere. And in this case, like I live in a secure building, so first off, no one else has any business being in here unless they have legit business in here. And if that something came up missing, well then they're the prime suspect for that something coming up missing. Or sometime during that time, you know? And in that case, in that case, what that does is it has a window open to where, people had a time of coming in and coming out. That happens, okay, well, something came up missing, fine. I'll just get my locks, my keys changed. I'll get the locks changed, right? Something comes up missing again, and I have both keys. Well, someone had to been letting them in with the new set of keys. So who's the only person who would have such a set of keys? I shouldn't even have to tell you anything about that. But there you go. Now, to most people who don't know, when it comes to like a unit or something like that that's being like rented out to you illegally, if that's your situation, not that it's mine, it's not mine, is legit. But you can't really, sue for back rent. But if your landlord's been allowing people to go infiltrate into your personal home of safety the entire time, you do have the liable right to sue for to literally sue to get your money back. And I don't mean just your deposit. I'm talking about your rent, because first off, not only was the lease violated, but also your human rights. There's just so much violations with that. There's a lot. And you see, you got to look at it. And I'm only using this as an example. You got to look at the perspective from that kind of point of view. You got to. But at the same time, when you seek truth, you still put yourself at risk because, well, they're hitting you with a weapon. I'm working to find many different ways for people to cure themselves from this directed energy. And everything that I keep seeing, everything that I keep finding keeps on pointing to parasitosis. And that's not even a superstitious, you know, a superstitious idea or a you know a conclusion. It's the truth. It's what they lace on surfaces when you go out shopping. It's what they lace on surfaces when you come back home. It could be on your doorknob. It could be on just about anything that they that you would normally touch. And they wait around these things that they lace this stuff on. And I believe because of it being in its larval stage, it can't survive for too long out in the open air. It dies over time. I started to look for many different methods that could actually kill this stuff off, right? And from what I started to realize is that the very thing that kills this stuff off. Now, when it came to the cleaners, yes, they can deactivate that stuff, but I believe that's more of like your multi-surface cleaners. I believe they can deactivate that stuff in the chemical compounds, but something like bleach, they can't deactivate something like that because first off, it's far too powerful and far too potent. So I don't believe that they can do that. It's just not going to happen. And I tested this. I legit tested this, and they immediately went out to swap the actual, that bleach out with just regular soap. I'm not gonna say where or when, but they basically just gave me information that I didn't yet know. I knew it was some cleaners. I just didn't believe that it was all. And then, sure enough, I got my confirmation. Don't ever think that there is no way that this organization that's doing this cannot be stopped. Don't think that it's impossible because you don't want to know something. That's the blue pill that they're trying to feed you. They're trying to force feed you. They're trying to force you in a state of not, believing that there's no way out. They want to force you to believe that there's no way to basically get out of this, no way to stop it, and that they're all powerful. I call bullshit on all of that. First off, they want to control media so that people don't find out what they're doing. Second, notice how a lot of this corruption comes from, I don't know, Democrats. And I hope I got this wrong. Right, not wrong. But I'm pretty certain Trump was a Republican when he was running, and he is still a Republican even today. Now, I could have that mixed up. If I do, please just leave it down in the comment section, and I'll soon correct it. But I'm pretty certain I'm right about this. Notice how a lot of this corruption came from revolve around here, both Hillary Clinton, both Barack Obama, both around even Hillary Clinton's husband, Bill Clinton. Not even just them, but a lot of other presidential candidates who are on the same side. A lot of this negative corruptions, it kept coming from that side. Yet people still kept voting for them. And here's the deal. There are two sides to the government, okay? There are two sides to this. There's the side that just actually wants to uphold the law and order and have justification for the people. But you see a lot of this turn blind eye shit that's going on. There are people out there who hold these perpetrators liable for their actions. But you see, they don't want you to find them. They don't want you to know who they are. They don't want you to know that there are doctors out there curing people of C19. That these covert stalkers are being paid to lace around the masses. They're coming up with any excuse to keep dishing out the chemtrails when the people have I believe the people have the actual right to, demand that they stop spraying this. Because first off, I don't believe people have to, just accept that them spraying this crap in the air. Because first off, you are breathing this. They're trying to say, oh, well, it's just vapor. BS. Seriously, BS. People have done studies on this. People have actually tested this stuff of that of which they have been spraying. And I'm telling you, and I'm pretty certain if a person tried this kind of stunt, they probably would get in trouble. But I wanted to know if there would be someone like a daredevil to actually go up there after they done sprayed, collect a sample of that with the net or something like that, right? Just take the thing that goes slightly, not far too far in it, because you do not want to be in the center of that shit. You don't. Not with the material, not with the metallic particles that they put in that. Oh no, you do not want to be in the center of that. But at least get a sample to do an exact test to find out what's in there. Because I'm telling you right now, there are deconstructed organisms in those chemtrails, and over time, they reconstruct themselves, and this is what we're breathing in. This is getting into our water, which they put fluoride in. If you didn't know, that actually makes the pineal gland a lot more, calcified. And what that does is that's set up in a way to where it's known to dumb you down and be more to cut off your spiritual level, if you didn't know. And if you're wanting to know how you can calcify your pineal gland, well, just check out the playlist in the guide channel. There's a video under meditation specifically for that. The gang stalkers don't like it when I play that though. Not just that, but Zacchaeus. We all owe a lot to that man. Seriously, he really, really did a lot when it came to the frequencies that he made. And honestly, I feel indebted to that man. Seriously. And I don't even know what would happen. What would have happened like if we didn't have individuals out there like that who made tones like that. Like I didn't even know about right frequency. I would have never known about this if I hadn't started to look farther into this. If I hadn't started to do the research, to dig up the evidence, to actually go and intentionally look for the people who were speaking out against this, who were trying to spread the advice to many different people that they were actually in it. You know something? You want to know why it's so hard to find all of this information? Because they keep trying to force feed you the damn blue pill. They literally filter both the social media up with lies, with rumors, falsifying information, to keep you from the real information, to keep you blind, to keep you from getting the red pill, which is the red pill of truth, the red pill of understanding, and to prevent you from getting the ability to decode everything, to understand all of what's going on at a more grounded level than than you would with the blue pill. Because honestly, if you take that blue pill, man, look, the only thing you're gonna end up doing is just be allowing yourself to be a slave of fairy tales. Okay, a slave of fairy tales. Everything that you were told, even from a child's point of view, from that age all the way to an adult, has all been a lie. There may have been times where you have seen truth, but you were so blindfolded, so force-fed with this blue pill that you would not have even known the difference. If you were younger, you would have been far too young to even understand the truth. And as you get older, unfortunately, with people, being converted, some people have actually become so far converted that they just lose sight of their true selves so much so that they accept the false persona. They accept that falsified identity as their own. And it's because of this that they have already since lost. They lost whatever sense of morality, humanity that they have. And unfortunately, these particular individuals who have sold themselves like that, they're already doomed to go to hell. Because when they accept that falsified reality, they're accepting the actions they are being told, for them to do by the oppressor, or in this case, the oppressors. And I don't mean just oppressors for black individuals. I'm talking about oppressors for all people in general, for all people of spiritual identity, with that high connection with God, with the Most High. Even so, they even go as far as even tampering with the Bible. I wanted to get a Bible for the longest time. I did, but I believe the Most High kept me from getting one simply because of from what they were doing. There's a whistleblower. She has a channel out there too, and she discusses Bible changes to where they're changing a lot of things in there to more of a perverted perspective, not just a perverted perspective, but also from a more military type perspective. You'll see different things in there, such as like salute. You'll see random things such as like homosexual references in there, which has actually, and I don't mean just like warnings. I'm talking about like acceptance of that, and like the list goes on and on. And here's the thing, in my point of view, man, from what I believe, look, I don't judge anybody, okay? I don't even care what you want to live your life out like that, but don't force your identity out onto other people, because that's just wrong. That's wrong no matter how you look at it. It's not your choice on how a person should live their life. It's not your choice on to make that life in that perspective for them. I don't give a damn what the hell you think. I don't give a damn how stubborn you are. I'm to the point to where I will just tell you no. Period. I don't care what you're into. I don't care what your interests are. It's could, because in this case, when it comes, if you're trying to enforce your interest onto someone else like that, that's coming from a more selfish perspective. And it's to the point to where like that's more of a rapist perspective, because first off, you're basically raping the identity of raping the identity of another individual from them being their true selves. This could be through verbalization. This could be due to you know discrimination of one another's character, sense of character. By self deflection, trying to convert the image of another person, just to basically discredit them. This is a form of rape, because first off, you're trying to seize the identity of another person and trying to paint a picture of a more falsified perspective to fill your own agenda, to fill your own ideals, or just to get money. The more I think about this, the more ridiculous it becomes, because they're doing all of these terrible and deceitful things for something that just grows off of from a plant, which we are surrounded by everywhere. Okay, we are surrounded by these things all over the place. You can find trees everywhere. They're doing this for something that grows off a tree. That's just how insanely ridiculous this is. So I ask you, will you continue accepting the falsified reality, or would you actually rather accept the truth, no matter how hard it may be, no matter how you know, no matter how difficult it may be to accept? But you need to understand, The reality we're living in now, whether we are acceptant of it or not, is that of the falsified reality due to a lot of control by the oppressors. But we see the truth by taking the red pill, and we do our damn best to spread out the truth as it is. Even though I am a whistleblower, I always take a person's one's own safety in mind when it comes to this. I never just spring this on anybody. I always take the person's safety as, you know, priority. And I know what just knowing information can be dangerous. So I ask you again, if you accept the red pill, just leave the comment down in the comment section saying red. If you accept the blue pill, well, just leave the comment and leave it in the comment saying you accept the blue. But understand that just because you're accepting blue, that's more of you are basically just blinding yourself from the true reality of which we are living in. It's not you getting one over on somebody. It's not you, making fun of somebody. You're just choosing to blind yourself from the truth. This is MM. I'm over and out.